And we saw this play out on the day before the vote. We saw some lawmakers saying, these are very weighty issues. We need to go back to talk with our constituencies. So we got a sense as if maybe Nigerians were not actually really carried along as much as we would have hoped.
No, they were carried along, but there were items that probably needed more consultation. There's some that were straightforward, that didn't need that much consultation. Autonomy for Auditor General. I mean, but devolution, state creation, land act, some of those issues, you know, I mean, one needs to be fair to the members of the National Assembly if they say that, look, they need to engage with the people that represent more.
Now, one of the critical, you know, amendments that did not pass was devolution of powers.
Yeah.
Now, many Nigerians had hoped that in the society right now where, you know, restructuring has been a key issue being discussed everywhere, that this should have been the golden opportunity by the National Assembly to tackle this issue once and for all, and devolution is a major part of restructuring. Why did the National Assembly, or the Senate in this case, not take advantage of this, of the current discourse to pass this?
Because what we do in the Senate and National, we represent our people. We don't sit in a vacuum and do things. We represent the thoughts and aspirations of our people. And a number of senators felt that maybe the devolution was a form of restructuring. And unfortunately, over the last few months, as you know, the word restructuring has created a lot of, it's very topical, a lot of controversies, those for, those against, those sitting on the fence. Some even not two people have the same understanding of it. And so a lot of the senators felt, look, this one, I need to talk, I need more consultation. I need to get the buy-in of the people I represent. And I think that for a matter as sensitive as that, yes, it is a golden opportunity to address it, but at the same time, we must be able to address it and get consensus, get everybody on board. We can't stampede an issue like that. We can't say because a few people believe are ready for it, some are still sitting on the fence. I think it's better for us to be able to get a consensus. As I said, look, if this had come 8 months ago, I think devolution will have passed, will have scaled through. But I think the rhetorics and the commentaries over the last few months, one part of the country is making a demand that, you know, they want to break away. Another part of the country say, oh, yes, go away. All that led to the fact that a lot of people were not sure. Some were sure this is what they want. And that is why constitutional reviews ask for 2/3. It doesn't ask for simple majority. So it's hoping that partly everybody is on board on the page. So what we need to do is sometimes run at the pace of the slowest. Let everybody assimilate it. Let everybody have a good understanding. And the only way to do that is to show understanding and dialogue. It's not to rain abuses on those who are not on that page. That's not going to make them change. You can't stampede them out of Nigeria. Neither can they. We're all Nigerians, and this country belongs to all of us.
Okay, I just want to clarify, from what you're saying, are you saying that some lawmakers have issues with restructuring?
Some lawmakers definitely have issue with devolution.
No, you're saying...
And I think that because of the kind of conversations that we've been reading, seeing, there's a lot of mistrust. And we must accept that. The way we are as a country today, there's a lot of mistrust. There's a lot of lack of confidence there's people who are questioning the oneness of the country. That's not in doubt. So with that kind of environment, when you're now looking at amendments that has to do with either devolution, restructuring, powers of the states, powers of the region, people are bound, depending on where they're coming from, to look at it differently. What we need to reassure everybody is that this is the interest of our country. It doesn't in any way jeopardize the growth or development of any part of the country.
You say when after the long break, when we come back, that the issue will be put forward. What is the process going to be like? Is it that we're going to see another round of constitution amendment? What is it going to look like?
It's a bill. It's a bill like any other bill. If there's consensus, somebody can just get up, bring the bill first and second reading, and we'll vote on it, if there's a consensus.
This issue of devolution of powers closely linked to the Land Use Act. Would you say that was the same, the issues raised by some people, why it was not followed through?
People that voted against devolution with the same people that voted against Land Act. It's the same. Land Act, revolution, creation of states, all those three come together. And that's what I'm saying is that you can see the votes largely were more sentiments as opposed to looking at the issues per se. And it's those sentiments that we need to address. If we address those sentiments, I'm confident that it's possible that those bills could pass.
We also got a sense of voting along ethnic and religious lines, the North versus the South divide in this. The South wanting for restructuring and devolution of powers and land use act, the North saying no.
Again, as I said, what we're interested in amendment is getting 2/3. And to get 2/3, most Nigerians need to agree. So we still have a lot of work to do.
Candidly, what are the fears? What do you think are the fears, particularly from those who are very averse to devolution of powers, restructuring? What are the fears?
Well, I'm not sure whether I think it's a better understanding of what the issues are. And I think that as leaders and as even those of you in the media have a great role to play. I think hate speeches, fake news, pushing through agendas that do not represent it does not help. It just builds that fear, even where there's nothing to be afraid of. It just creates that. That's why I said that 8 months ago, I could have put my hand on my chest and bet you that all of those two will have passed. But the events of the last few months and the kind of message out there, as I use the word, the air is polluted. And when is that? People just, run into their shell and they're a bit more cautious. And sometimes it's not based on facts, it's not based on rationale, it's based on just sentiments and concern. And I think that's what. So we have a role to play to reassure those who are not yet on that page that, look, let's sit down and look at this. If states can develop rail, if states can collect the stamp duties, it makes them more vibrant and it's good for the country.